Welcome back, everyone. Welcome to Planning with Intentions, where we talk about everything planning. We will talk about anything that you can plan, we will find in this channel. If you're not subscribed to my channel, make sure to subscribe and click the bell to be reminded of when I post a video. If you have not seen my previous video, I spoke about the sections in your planner that, in my opinion, you should have. And it opens the doors to growth. If you are a first-time planner, how or what sections you should have in your planner. Now, today's video is in regards to what can you use your planner if you don't have anything to plan, if you're not busy, if you feel that you don't necessarily need a planner because you don't have a lot of stuff to plan. Well, I'm going to go through approximately 17 tips. Some of them are more of my just notes in between, but they're tips for you to think about in regards to things that you can plan in your planner, especially if you feel that you're not busy enough to have a planner, or what do you plan in a planner when you feel that you're not very busy. So make sure you stay until the end of the video so you can get some great tips on how to use your planner when you feel like you're not busy enough to plan. Tip number 1, just because you're not busy, it does not mean that you cannot progress in the personal basis with your family and or children. And that is children, young children at home, or even grown children. Having a schedule or a routine to contact them if they are grown and they don't live at home on a daily, weekly, monthly basis, yearly. It is great to keep track of that. It's almost a reminder that it'll keep you. Now, if you have younger children, in the same sense, making time for them, or if you're growing in a personal basis, is important. So, tip number 2, since COVID, things have changed quite a bit. Now, I do believe that at this point, I think everybody's kind of going back to their normal routines. Schools are going back to their routines. A lot of workers are going back to work. But with that, I do believe that a lot of businesses have opened up. Either they became virtual, or a lot of businesses are using what we call VAs, virtual assistants, which they will keep you busy because you will need somewhere to track information to remember that you need to do. If it's a work schedule or if it's a customer or client information or notes that you have for that specific client. So since COVID, it has opened up a different kind of business that even if you're not necessarily in that, you are still going to be busy and you need a place to track and plan certain things for that business or that job. Tip number 3, routines. You may not be busy, but you still have a routine. You still wake up, go to sleep, eat, and there's certain things you still do that if you're needing to make any changes to, that's something that you can put on your planner so you don't forget if you're making those changes. Tip number 4, future plans. I know since COVID, a lot of people canceled a lot of vacations and they moved them over to 2021. Well, now we're planning for 2022. So vacations or any projects that you may have for work or for home, and of course, holidays and birthdays. Those are things that you can track. A lot of people naturally track them, and some of them they don't. And it's something that you can definitely track or plan. Keep saying track, and I'm not meaning tracking, I'm meaning planning. So I do apologize. Now, if you're trying to make a change in your life, it's something that you can plan because you can break it down into steps to help you accomplish it. Tip number 6, memory keeping. If you have never memory kept before, it's a good time to do it when you feel you're not busy and you don't really have a lot to do with that planner. memory keeping. Tip number 7, habit tracker. Now, I'm only going to leave it there because I am going to be making a separate video in regards to what you can track in your planner. So, habit tracking, you can do that in your planner. Tip number 8 is meals, recipes, and a master shopping list. It doesn't matter if you're busy or not, you're going to have that information. You need to keep a plan for it. It's always great to have it anyway, but if you're not busy, you still have to do that. Tip number 9 is where to find specific things or information. Now, I will tell you this. I have always been that person that if I put something down here, I will remember. But somehow in the last year and a half, I have found myself that I forget when or where I have put something down. So you can use your planner to have a section to remind yourself of something that you need to be reminded of. Of course, you can use it for passwords, but I'm not suggesting all that too much. But I'm talking about more relevant things like, a specific item that is important, birth certificates, titles to a property, or even more simplified, I have forgotten where I put, like, if I move the medications from one section in my bathroom and I put them higher because of my kids. I know it sounds exaggerating, but having a section in your planner where you can write information about where you can find something in your house, in your work, in your brain will actually help you. It's been very helpful for me personally. Tip number 10, cleaning. A cleaning schedule. You have seasonal cleanings. We don't clean everything every single day. And it's good to track certain things that you don't necessarily do every month, maybe every quarter. You can do the same thing with a vehicle, oil changes, your tires. So you definitely can track between the cleaning and the vehicle. It's 2 different tips, but it falls under the same concept in my mind about cleaning and maintaining certain things in your home that you need. Now, if you have a business, maybe you need to schedule or plan a cleaning for it. If you have cleaning, if you, for example, if you have boat rentals at certain time out of the year, you need to, for pesticides, Number 11, finances. It doesn't matter if you're busy or not, guys. You still have finances. You still have bills to pay. So you can plan for your finances. Tip number 12, journaling. If you've never journaled before, if you feel that you don't have anything to use, then journal. Journaling is so good for in a personal basis, in a growth. It helps you grow. It makes you feel so much better from within. 13, homeschool. If you're a homeschool mom, you still have to plan. A lot of homeschoolers homeschool year-round, and sometimes they don't do year-round. It just depends on their state. You keep track of grades, you keep track of attendance, you keep track of the schedule. Now, if you don't have homeschool children, and let's just say they are in school, then you can have references in regards to their teachers and anything they may need. Then within your children, you can have medical plans that you may have as a record. So at the end of the day, you still are planning this stuff. If you don't have any children, but you are taking courses or you're teaching yourself or you're self-taught for certain things that you want to do new in your home, in a project, or just in general, if you're teaching yourself a new language, this is where you can use your planner to plan what you're learning. 15, tip number 15 is any home to-dos. I know a lot of this is almost a common sense thing, but sometimes when we feel that we're not very busy, and if you pull back a little bit, you may just realize that maybe there's a few things that you are not doing at home because you don't feel like there's much to do. But if you really pull back and look at the big picture, you will be surprised. Tip number 16, if you have never used stickers in your planner, or if you are a minimalist, or if you don't really use a lot of stickers in general, this is a good time for you to play around with a layout where you can use stickers and see what you like and work on your creativity when it comes to planning. So tip number 16 is very simple: taking notes. You can plan on taking notes. Bottom line, guys, if you're not busy, if you feel like you're not busy, you can use your planner for record tracking. In my opinion, it's record planning. So you're recording things in your planner to keep in your planner so you can plan within those records that you already have. And of course, you're taking notes. Taking notes because there is an abundance of things that you can plan in your planner. My bonus tip is goals. More than halfway through the year, it's a good time to start thinking about goals and maybe the steps that we may have to take or we would like to take to make those goals happen. So it would be a good time to start planning for those goals that you may have for 2022. I know that you may think, goals, why would I not do the steps starting the new year? Here's my thought about goals. I don't personally like to set my goals for the beginning of the year. Usually, if I'm going to make a goal, I start it early, because when you're getting into a new habit, when you're making changes in your life, when you're trying something new, you're going to skip a day, you're going to not do something that you needed to do. So if you give yourself that leeway of starting your goals or the steps towards completing a goal early on, by the time the year starts, you'll be able to have fixed a lot of those little things that have might have made things a little bit tricky to complete that goal or accomplish it. And of course, at the beginning of the year, you can tweak it and make those changes if you need to. All right, guys, if you like this video, or if you picked up at least one tip out of the list I gave you, I would really appreciate it if you like and subscribed. And our next video, if you enjoy this, my next video will be in regards to things that you can track on various monthly inserts. And I say various because we have a 2-page monthly, you have a 1-page monthly, you have a list monthly, so you can track a lot of things. And I want to give you my tips on things that you can track on those monthlies that will help you if you feel like you're not so busy. So make sure to click the bell to be reminded of when I post so you don't miss that video. Thank you so much for watching. I do truly appreciate every single one of you. Take care, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.